Now, the U.S. dollar is an interesting thing, and I want to confess to you, there's still quite a few of you listening here. I want to confess to you, when the dollar was down, get my highlighter again, when the dollar was down here in this area, this would be in August of last year, I very pointedly forecast the dollar was going to rise, not collapse. The news headlines of the day back in August were saying that the dollar is done for, it's doomed, there's no way it can recover, it's worthless, the economy stinks, everything's going to seed, and the dollar's going to crash. I took a contrarian view on that and said, no, the dollar's going to rally. It's going to be a significant rally, and look what's happened to it in the course of just a few months. It's up by a huge margin now, from somewhere down at 71. It's up to about 80 something now. It's a huge rise, and it's not done yet. We can see that there's been, there's been 1, 2, 3, 4 distinct waves. We're still expecting one more wave up before a significant retraction might be coming into play. But anybody who bet against the dollar down at these lower levels is, at this point, unless they were able to get out, Jack be nimble, Jack be quick. If they were able to get out, they were okay. But some people I know that were messing with currencies down here took a terrible hit by betting against the dollar. And so at this point, the dollar is still rising. I don't expect it will last forever, but it may well reach its recent peak back here in 2006, which is 92.5. And so you can look for that, and if that happens, at some point out here, when wave number 5 exhausts itself, we'll probably see a significant correction downward in the dollar. Now, next we want to point to gold, because everybody is questioning gold. And I'm going to tell you again that I took a lot of heat for my forecast on gold. And this was back, let's see, I want to get back. This is back in this area right around here. When I made that forecast that gold was going to continue to fall, not go up. The high on gold you can see out here. Look, people were very bullish, of course, out in this area. But you can see so far that we've had one distinct wave down, a recovery, a third wave down, a fourth wave recovery, a fifth wave down, and we're back up to wave number 6 on the up. And my bet will be, at this point, my forecast will continue to be that we're looking at somewhere around 600 to 6.25 to be the current low, or to be the next low on gold. That doesn't mean, by the way, that you don't buy gold. I'm not suggesting that. I love gold. I was one of the original gold bugs from the early 1970s. You don't have to convince me that gold will never go to zero. You don't have to convince me that gold is money or that gold is a solid asset. But the facts of life are that gold has been in a downtrend, in a correction from its meteoric rise. And so anywhere probably below $700 an ounce. It's already been down there. I think 680 was a recent low. If it dips into below 700, that certainly is a period of time where you want to be accumulating gold. If you bought a lot of gold up between $900 and $1,000 thinking it was going to go to the moon, this is not the time to dump out of your gold at the bottom, when probably there's going to be a pretty good rise coming after it reaches its bottom here soon. When would that happen? Could be November, could be December, could be January, could be February. We don't speak to time, but it probably is going to be soon. It's the next thing up. So gold is not dead. Gold is just having trouble. For those of you who have been gold bugs forever, just realize that nothing goes in a straight line, and you have to take the bitter with the sweet. If your timing was bad, that doesn't mean the gold is bad. It just means your timing was bad. Try to do better next time is all I can say. So let me go on to the next slide here. We're going to switch gears a little bit and talk about President Obama with our remaining few minutes here. Zbigniew Brzezinski was the head foreign advisor to Obama during his campaign, and he originally endorsed Obama with the following words. He said, "I think there is a need for a fundamental rethinking of how we conduct world affairs. And Obama seems to me to have both the guts and the intelligence to address that issue and to change the nature of America's relationship with the world. This is the man who you've seen a little bit of history on him through this presentation. This is the man who founded the Trilateral Commission, who was the intellectual genius behind it from the get-go. This is the man who engineered the policy to give away the Panama Canal. This is the man who was Jimmy Carter's national security advisor. This is the Democratic counterpart to Henry Kissinger, by the way. And this is the man who has wrapped himself around Barack Obama to be his national security advisor. Brzezinski is also the man who, of course, who mentored, still good friends of Dr. Robert A. Pastor. So they have wrapped themselves around pretty clearly. Now, what can we expect during the Obama years? I will predict that Obama does not serve more than 4 years in his term. I don't think he's going to get more than one term. But we can expect for the next 4 years a hard left turn, obviously, on domestic and foreign policies. Like Jimmy Carter, they have a majority in the House and Senate, and they have the executive branch as well. They can get a lot of stuff done. The good news is that probably the conservatives in the country will fight him tooth and nail at every turn, making it difficult for him to do certain things. But we can expect that hard left turn. We can expect a high percentage of appointments will be from the Council on Foreign Relations. Some will be from the Trilateral Commission, I think, before we're done. But Barack Obama is not an outsider. He made himself out like Jimmy Carter to be an outsider, but he is an insider as insiders come. His wife is actually Michelle Obama is a board member of the Chicago chapter of the Council on Foreign Relations, and we see many of his advisors during his campaign and stuff were from the CFR as well. Now we'll see a continued surrounding of Obama during these 4 years by Trilateral Commission members, even if they're not in important board positions. We will see people attach themselves to Obama as key advisors. We'll see continued existence, presence of Zbigniew Brzezinski. Paul Volcker is right in there. Some have suggested Volcker might even be appointed or selected for Treasury Secretary. Madeleine Albright has been in the mix. Of course, she was Secretary of State under Bill Clinton. Joseph Nye. Richard Haas, the president of the CFR, member of the Trilateral Commission. Bill Clinton, of course, is in there still. And Al Gore has already made it very clear that he wants to be the czar, if you will, for global warming in the Obama administration. So we'll see the surrounding continue. These people, if you consider them lobbyists, these are the lobbyists, if you will, that will be driving for their policies to be implemented that they created within the Commission over a period of years. And lastly, I will just predict that that you can look for a cabinet position to be created, a brand new cabinet position to be created, something along the lines of Secretary of North American Affairs. And I also suggest that that position will be filled by Robert Pastor himself. And that will be an interesting, if this does happen, you'll look back at this meeting and say, gee, how do you know that? I'm not going to tell you right now, but it has something to do with something that Robert Pastor published in the Foreign Affairs magazine a few months ago that was published in Foreign Affairs. Of course, Foreign Affairs is the official publication of the Council on Foreign Relations. So these are some of the things that we have to look forward to, I suppose, during the Obama years. Nothing has changed. Social policies will be more left than ever before. The reason, by the way, that Brzezinski and Obama get along so well is that Brzezinski has had very distinct Marxist leanings, at least since his book in 1972, and of course, so does Barack Obama. So they philosophically they're on the same page in many ways, and they'll make interesting bedfellows, I think, as these 4 years fly by.